We're happy to have the Bitcoin Meister here with us today to tell us about Bitcoins. I'm so interested in them. I'm an old-time investor and I want to learn more about what Bitcoins is all about. Can you tell us about yourself and what Bitcoins are?
Well, yes, I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister, and I travel around the world talking about Bitcoin, which is a cryptocurrency. I also have a YouTube channel that I post a new video to every day where I'm spreading the word about Bitcoin. And all Bitcoin is a digital virtual currency that is not controlled by any government.
Oh, I understand you have something called scaling and blockchains. What is that all about?
Well, you're getting we're jumping ahead here a little bit into the in-depth problems that are going on with the Bitcoin right now. Right now, Bitcoin is very popular and people are trying to use it, but the network itself is not big enough or fast enough. So some alterations have to be done to it so that Bitcoin can be sent faster and for a little bit cheaper than it currently is. And that's the scaling issue. And again, this is something that's a little bit more complex. I won't get into all the tech behind it, but many people are negotiating this, and Bitcoin will be able to grow and become more efficient.
What is this three-letter word that you use? What, F-U-D? What is that all about?
FUD. Well, I guess you've been on my channel a lot. I often use the term FUD. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, that stands for. And there are many people, for various reasons, who like to spread rumors in order to bring down the price of Bitcoin. Maybe because they don't like Bitcoin, maybe because they want to buy it for cheaper than it currently is. So they create rumors that spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And on my show, I'm always bringing up rumors and shooting down various forms of FUD so people understand that, hey, Bitcoin is a long-term investment. And there are going to be days where the price of Bitcoin drops. But you shouldn't be scared by that. You shouldn't let people spread fear about the price dropping or uncertainty about the future of Bitcoin or doubt about the future of Bitcoin. You should just stick with the goal of this is going to last, and there are good days and there are bad days. So ignore the FUD is what I say.
Yeah.
Have a strong hand.
Well, I invest in the stock market and trading, and I've gotten excited about Bitcoins, and I put in $8,000, and now it's up to $12,000. And that's, I think, is a beautiful way. I can access it 24 hours a day. You know, I can just take this little thing out of my thing, punch it, and I got instantly. Not when the stock market has to be open, but 24 hours a day. Isn't that a nice feature?
It is amazing. Bitcoin is worldwide. It's being traded all over the world in different countries. Again, no, it's not for just one country. People in Japan use it, people in India use it, people in South Africa, the United States. It's marvelous that it never trades, the exchanges never close. It's not like the New York Stock Exchange that's off on 4th of July or off on the weekend or off after 4 p.m. It's always on, and you always can check the price, and it's a free market. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, I understand also that it's a finite amount of Bitcoins out there, 21 million or something like that, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's not going to get any bigger.
Yes.
So the demand will go up.
Indeed. Right now there are over 16 million, and there are only ever going to be 21 million created. So this is a deflationary mechanism. It's something that we're not used to here, because we're used to inflationary money that's issued by our governments, that they could just keep printing and printing and printing and inflating the value, but inflating the value away. But this limited supply is going to create a new paradigm, and it is, in theory, the scarcity of it all will increase the demand and increase the price.
Well, I've watched your show on YouTube, and I like it. And I watched other shows also, and I see this term coming up, miner. And is that a sequel to the fact that you're mining gold? So you're mining something else?
It's the creation of the Bitcoin That's the comparison. So they use the term mining the Bitcoin to represent creating the Bitcoin. And the people who create the Bitcoin they call the miners. And all that is they're solving a mathematical equation which allows them to prove that this Bitcoin, this virtual currency exists. And you can check every transaction that's ever been made with this virtual currency on something called the blockchain, which basically records every transaction of all time. So you can't go back, and these people creating the Bitcoin can't all of a sudden go back and erase that it existed, because it's saved on this blockchain, this continual record of transactions of Bitcoin. So it is something that will never be destroyed, a way to always go back and see that this Bitcoin existed on X day, and this is where it's been since then, the transactions that have happened.
And I understand that it can't be cut off or lost because it's distributed in many places.
Well, yes, this is true. There are many different records of it. It's not one central location of all the Bitcoin. It's many different computers all around the world that record the existence of every Bitcoin. Now, for an individual, they can lose the private key to their Bitcoin, but publicly, you'll be able to see that the Bitcoin is still out there. The person can lose, the owner of the Bitcoin can lose access to it, but that's a little bit more complex. We shouldn't get into that right this second.
Yeah. What about the security of it? How do I know that my Bitcoins are not going to be lost, or someone's not going to take them? How does that work out?
Well, there's a public address for the Bitcoin and a private address for the Bitcoin. And again, because of the mining situation and the decentralization of it all, that there are many computers all around the world that are keeping track of this stuff, you know you've got a real Bitcoin when you have your private key, your private address, which is just a series of numbers and letters that represent this virtual currency. So if you control your private key, if you have it written down, you have it saved on your computer, you can't lose it. No one can take it from you unless someone figures that out. Excuse me, not in the figure, because you can't figure it out, excuse me, unless someone physically takes it from you or you share it with someone. Now, a lot of people feel uncomfortable holding their private key, so they let third parties, like exchanges, hold their private key, which is holding their Bitcoin. It's just like putting your money in a bank. There's a risk with that. So I tell people to get their own Bitcoin storage devices. They sell them for around $100. There's one called the Trezor, and you can store your private address there, and it will be safe. And the little hardware device, the Trezor, it will allow you to send it to other people or receive more Bitcoin there. It's very convenient and very good for the beginners out there who are watching this video today. I'm sure there are many people. This video is probably going toward a lot of new people, and I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. I've been trying to keep it. Hopefully everyone's understanding.
So if I have a friend in Israel and I want to send him something, I can send him Bitcoins, and he can receive them over there. When he tells me what his password is, I send it directly to him.
He actually tells you his public address, not his password, his public address. And yes, you'll send it directly to him in Israel, and he will get it right away, basically, right away.
Then he can use that money to purchase something over there and not having to go through any conversions of money from US dollars to Israel money.
Israel shekels, yes. So if there's someone over there in Tel Aviv who accepts Bitcoin, then yeah, he can go right over to that guy and say, hey, I want to buy your car for Bitcoin. And that guy will be like, great, I accept Bitcoin. So yeah, it's that simple. Obviously, the more and more people that find out about Bitcoin, the more and more people who are willing to accept Bitcoin. So that's what I'm out here for, spreading the word.
And that's growing leaps and bounds by merchants that are willing to instead of taking dollars, they take Bitcoins, right?
Oh yes, the list of merchants does grow every day, but I mean individuals also who just want to acquire. It's to buy Bitcoin through an exchange in the United States, you have to sign up, give information, connect your bank account, which is all good. I recommend people do that through Coinbase.com. But an easier way is just to sell something, to list something for sale. Like I have a sofa for sale for Bitcoin, and just list it maybe on Craigslist, and you get Bitcoin that way. So it's individuals too are coming up with creative ways of acquiring Bitcoin by just selling goods. So they're not necessarily professional merchants, they're just traders. They're just people.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's a great way. I mean, I recommend that. If you've got something, if you want an easy way of getting Bitcoin, just sell something, list it on Craigslist. See, because there are people out there who will be like, who will want to help you out there, who will be like, oh yeah, that's a fellow Bitcoin guy. That's a great way to get this guy into Bitcoin. I need a sofa. Why not buy it for?
And in order to convert Bitcoins to relative U.S. dollars for what you're paying for this thing, you can just simply go on the exchange and look at. They'll give you the Bitcoin value and the dollar value right next to it, right?
Yes. So on Coinbase, if you do get Bitcoin and you want to turn it back into dollars, yes, you go there, it lists how much they'll pay for it, and you send them the Bitcoin, and then you have to go through some hooking up of your bank account, but they will send you the dollars to your bank account when they sell it for you, when they sell the Bitcoin. That's what an exchange is all about.
Very good. Is there anything else that you should tell us about?
Well, I think it's still early in the Bitcoin revolution, in the cryptocurrency revolution here, and that you can be young, you can be old, you can be a male, you can be a female, and there's no restrictions. There's nothing that's limiting people to get into this. You can be anywhere around the world, but you haven't missed the boat yet. A lot of people talk about how it's gone up in price by so much. Well, still, so few people know about it. So this is only the beginning. Mass adoption, we are so far away from that. So the sky is the limit for Bitcoin. That's what I want to put out there to the world.
Yeah. Well, you have some very famous people talking about it and saying it's the thing. It's the coming thing. I mean, we're going to be a world trader, so therefore we got a world currency that we can trade with.
Yes, that's what it's looking like, that it is something that everyone around the world can use, and there are people waking up to it that are in prominent positions of fame and fortune. And I think Bill Gates has mentioned it. So it's exciting. We do need more. The more famous people who speak up, the more the mainstream media will pick up on it, and the more of the masses that will find out about it. And we need that. But at the same time, we need people on YouTube talking about it also, the alternative media, which has really picked up on it more so than the mainstream.
Well, I was a little bit surprised, though, when I transferred money from my investment account to my exchange. It took so long. It took 5 to 7 days. And I assume that's for security reasons. They want to verify that this is a legitimate transfer and it's going to a legitimate place. Are they going to be able to short that any, you think?
Well, that's, when you involve a third party, that involves getting dollars out of an institution, you're going to have to play by their rules. The beauty of Bitcoin is that it is instant. If you're just sending Bitcoin to another Bitcoin address, that's the beauty. You've eliminated the fiat slowness, the bank rules. But will the banks make it easier to transfer money to an account in order to buy Bitcoin? Well, that's up to the banks. That's I wouldn't trust. They might make it harder, in fact. But again, you can go to their sites where you can arrange. There's a site called localbitcoins.com where you can arrange meeting someone and you can just give them cash and they can give you a Bitcoin. Now, there's obviously risk involved with that also. So you don't have to rely on financial institutions to get Bitcoin. But right now they do have power onto the Bitcoin over the Bitcoin on-ramps. Many financial institutions do, but eventually that will go away. and it will be easier. But again, Bitcoin to Bitcoin transactions are very easy right now. That's very fast.
Yeah, and it's kind of a personal thing, in that what you're doing is up to you, and it's only you that knows it.
Yes.
So you can do something a little bit.
Yes, you can do something that you might not want the world to know about. At the same time, you are not going to get bailed out. If you send your Bitcoin to a scam, if you try to buy into some Chinese investment scheme, and you send it to this company in China because you think, oh, I'm getting into this Chinese investment company, and they're going to triple my Bitcoin, and then you find out they stole your money, well, that's it. You're not going to get bailed out. There's no central authority that can come say, oh, well, we'll just print you some more Bitcoin because we like you. No, it's about personal responsibility with Bitcoin also. But at the same time, that comes with, the government isn't going to tell you what you can and can't control what you can and can't do with your Bitcoin.
Sedgwick, what's that all about?
A segregated witness is basically a fix that to make Bitcoin faster and more efficient. It's a technical fix that is complex to explain right now. That is being worked on, that has been, it basically will be implemented toward the end of July, August 1st. People were worried about this, and people should not be worried about it. So.
Yeah. Now, you would probably suggest that when you buy Bitcoins, you're probably doing it for a long-term investment?
Yes, it is a long-term investment. I do not advise people to trade it, to flip it, because you start to worry yourself to death about it. Like, oh, because the price is always changing. This is something you've got to put in. Right now, let's say it's $2,600 for one Bitcoin. You've got to think to yourself, I know this is going to be worth more in the future. I know this is going to be worth more in the year 2020. I am not going to touch it until 2020. And so even if it goes down to $2,100 tomorrow, you'll be like, that's fine, because I know in the year 2020, it's going to be worth more. So you've got to think long-term when it comes to Bitcoin, or else you're going to panic sell, and there's going to be a lot of happy people to buy up your Bitcoin for cheap. There have been people that have panicked for various reasons and greatly regret it now, because it went down from 1,200 to 1,000. They're like, oh, I better sell now at 1,000, and then all of a sudden it went back up to 1,500, never went back down to 1,000 again. So they feel really bad now.
And you went up to a high, of 3,000?
Yeah, it hit 3,000 for a few seconds, apparently on some exchanges. So I mean, that just shows you the bright future. But again, there are many people out there who say they think it's going to be 5,000 next year or 10,000 in 2020. I try not to get people too excited about it. I think, if it's 2,600 now, that would be great. If it's worth 5,000 in 2020, wow, doubling your money. I mean, where else can you double your money? And I'm not saying it's going to necessarily double, but I am confident. That in the year 2020, 3 years from now, it will be worth more. So you got to take a long-term stand. And hey, think beyond 2020. Think 2024, 2028. Think as long as you want to here. Just like you do. It's a savings account. Treat it like a savings account.
Now let's take a hypothetical case. If we were going to buy a Bitcoin and it's $3,000, but we only want to put $1,000 in it, so we can get a third of a Bitcoin. So it's not really something physical. It's something you get what you pay for.
Yes, that is a great point to bring up. That it's divisible. You can get $100 worth of it, $10 worth of it. You don't have to buy one. It's infinitely divisible, actually. So it's great for some. There's no excuse to say, well, it's too expensive. No, you can get $10 worth of it. You can buy just a fraction of a Bitcoin.
So I also understand that there's been some Bitcoins that have been lost. People have thrown away their hard drive with Bitcoins on them, and those Bitcoins are gone forever.
Yeah, again, if you control your private key, no one's going to bail you out. You have to keep track of your private address. So if you had your private address on your hard drive and you threw it away, that's it. If you had it written down on a piece of paper and it burns up in a fire, that's it. It's personal responsibility here. But again, if you keep it safe, you're in great shape.
Well, tell me about where is your, you're on Facebook, and are you not on Facebook?
Well, I'm on YouTube, is where where people can watch my
Facebook.
videos. And so at YouTube, you can find me at, just look for Adam Meister, but you can easily get there by going to disruptmeister.com, or you can look up Bitcoin Meister. On Twitter, I'm at TechBalt, TechBalt. My Facebook presence is not big, actually. That's not a good place to find it, but I'm on Steemit at Bitcoin Meister. So you just look all around for Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. My YouTube channel, though, is, yes, it's Bitcoin Meister. It is one of the most popular Bitcoin channels out there. I post a new video every single day. Some of it's for beginners, some for more advanced. Hey, there are like over 500 Bitcoin videos out there that I've already done. So you go to my archives at disruptmeister.com. You can learn a lot.
Very good. Well, I'm very happy to interview you. I'm Ralph Shipp, and I have a website called CraigShipp.com. So I've traveled all over the world, and if you go there, you see a whole bunch of pictures, and now you'll see Bitcoin.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure to be on the show today. I really thank you for interviewing me, and I hope a lot of people learn about Bitcoin from it.
I'm sure they will. And you know, it takes a little time for some of us. Our minds are like concrete. We're all mixed up and set in our ways. So it takes a little time for us to go ahead and, get up to speed on some of this new stuff that's coming out. That's very fascinating. And I think it's very rewarding. I think it's the way it's going to be.
Yes.
We got to be we're going to be changed, and we got to go with it.
Yes, this is a new world, and it does take some getting used to. It takes some time to get used to it, but just I tell everyone, take it slow, and you will get the hang of it. Watch videos, go to YouTube, and hey, it's worth it to take the time to learn about this, because it's still early, and you'll be very happy in the future that you got in early in 2017.
Thank you so much. We enjoyed you coming here. Hey, we're in a studio that's up near Camp David. It's undisclosed location, but since you travel all over the world, you go to many studios.
Oh yeah, it's an honor to be here at this secret location near Camp David. It's great. This is one of the most secretive locations I've ever been at here. Not far from my home in Baltimore, not far at all.
That's right, Baltimore. He's from Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you.